Alright, we got a little, not a WebBot update, but just a little conversation between myself and you guys listening. Now, the other day I gave you an update to a prior update that he put, Cliff High from the WebBot, put on his website. And the previous update, not the one I'm about to read now, which by the way, I already read this one a few days ago, but I want to retouch on it. The one before that, where it talked a little more detail about these damaged documents, or these very important documents. And let me just read this for a minute. The data has maintained that the officialdom at all levels, including Congress, paid shills, and civil authorities, will be lying their faces off over this period as they deliberately, and perhaps more importantly, desperately, try to conceal/hide information that is vital to the health and life of the populace. While much of the initial anger from the populace has to do with closed doors and not welcome here forms of official meetings, the datasets have suggested it will be the actual destruction of the documents that will ignite the fury. This area refers back to the damaged documents section of the last Shape of Things to Come WebBot report of 2011. As they, officialdom, are providing certain hints to those semioticians with adequate vision that schedules for their New World Order are in a state of flux, it now does appear that they, the powers that be, have decided to employ treachery or unleashing deceit in bringing to ruin the person provided with preferential status. Man, did some major keywords poke out here at me after watching this video that was posted yesterday. And again, the video was posted yesterday because it just took place I think it took place yesterday, and someone posted online, or maybe the day before. Nonetheless, it was absolutely after the WebBot report came out, and absolutely after this article I read you from Cliff High's website came out. In other words, Cliff High's, let me back up. Cliff High's article that I just read you was out first than this compared to this video, right? This video was just put out, the date was yesterday. And it is in regards to Attorney General Eric Holder, Fast and Furious, getting grilled by a very pissed off congressman in some kind of committee hearing about Fast and Furious and how they have stonewalled this entire thing. They've asked and subpoenaed lots of information and have been giving pretty much zero in regards to this. And he talked, well, we've given 7,800 documents that have nothing to do with anything. He said, well, but, long story short, I'm not going to spend 8 minutes telling you what he said. I'm going to post the link to this interview. It's only 8 minutes long. Watch it, and then maybe come back to the beginning of my video and listen to what I just said. Because and I said the other day, is it Fukushima? Now, we're hearing a lot about Fukushima all of a sudden. Is there some kind of documents that are going to spell ruin for the government because they covered it up or something? That's what I'm thinking, or was thinking at the time. Because the WebBot, the recent report, had talked about Fukushima coming back into the limelight, bigger and badder, if you will. And a lot of discussion on Reactor 4 because it's going to be a major problem. And sure enough, as it said that would happen prior to any of it happening, all that stuff's back in the spotlight again. So I think his new formula of getting data out of the WebBot seems like a winner to me. So this guy, Eric Holder, Attorney General, we know that he was responsible, him and his team, via the Obama administration, obviously, for Fast and Furious, which was gun running to Mexican drug cartels, in which 2 of those weapons were recovered at the scene of 2 killings of our law enforcement officers by those guns that we, via the Justice Department, shipped over to drug lords in Mexico. This is the same kind of crap that was the Iran-Contra scandal. And for every scandal that gets the whistle blown on it, so Iran-Contra, Fast and Furious, a few others, can you imagine? Can you just imagine how many that are still going on and are going to continue to go on right now, right behind our noses, right under our noses, we don't even have a clue about? So watch that video and think about this. This guy is pounding him, and he has absolutely no answers. He is not happy being up there getting grilled, that's for sure. And it wasn't the whole interview or the whole hearing. It was just a certain part of it, 8 minutes long, probably the best part of it. And as I listened to what he said and how this congressman was just pounding him pretty hard, didn't appear to be like, you know, pretending to play a role. This congressman is pretty pissed off. And again, congressmen don't know about these kind of things. They don't know what the Justice Department's doing. They don't know what the CIA is doing. They don't know what the FBI is doing until something happens like this. Now we got to investigate. We're going to have hearings. We're going to subpoena things. And then all of a sudden, we're not, you can subpoena all you want. We're not going to give you anything. So, number one, who is this, where's it at? This person who's been provided with preferential status. When it says, it now does appear that they, the powers that be, have decided to employ treachery / unleashing deceit in bringing to ruin the person provided with preferential status. Are they fixing to let Eric Holder go or take the fall on the sword, or somebody else in regards to Fast and Furious? Because he mentioned another guy's name and was asking him, is he responsible? And he wouldn't really answer. So, I don't know. But, man, the more I read into this, I really think that's what we're talking about. You know, and it says they're desperately, the data has, I'm just going to read it one more time. I'll stop and then go watch the link that I'm going to post below. The data has maintained that the officialdom at all levels, including Congress, interesting that a congressional hearing, paid shills, and civil authorities. Now, Eric Holder is not a congressman. He is the Attorney General. That would be a civil authority. Out of 3 keywords, I just saw 2 in this video. Congress and Eric Holder / civil authority will be lying their faces off over this period, which he said right into June. Remember that in the other report, early part of June. Here we are. Over this period, as they deliberately, and perhaps more importantly, desperately, try to conceal / hide information that is vital to the health and life of the populace. Now, considering 2 law enforcement agents got gunned down by these guns, when it says it's vital to the health and life of the populace, our populace, getting these documents out to see what our government's doing, which is killing us, ultimately, is what that led to, would be pretty vital for the population and their health / life. So that's another interesting statement. While much of the initial anger from the populace has to do with the closed doors and not welcomed here meetings from officialdom. So in other words, what we just got to witness tonight, when you click on that link and you see C-SPAN, whatever it is, covering the congressional hearing. What this is telling me right now is there's fixing to be some more congressional hearings, no video cameras, closed doors. We're going to talk to Eric Holder. No, not for the public eyes. We're going to talk to him privately. That's what this is telling me is about to take place if, big if, this Fast and Furious thing is the actual thing this Webbot's talking about regarding these documents. And the main word, damaged documents. And you don't suppose that the documents that put Eric Holder, the Obama administration, name of this guy, name of that guy, email back and forth, give him the green light, things that would be treasonous. I mean, if you go and sell guns to illegally, give them to a drug cartel, and then they come back and kill your own people, man, there's got to be some way to tie that to being a treasonous act. I mean, one way or the other. So you have that type of powerful thing to go with. We got to get these documents because that's it. That's it. We got these guys. We got the Obama administration, the freaking president, right? We got his attorney general. We've got a bunch of other high-level people involved. This is it. sorry, closed-door meetings. We subpoenaed the documents, and one of the secretaries accidentally shredded them. She picked up the wrong pile. And then Fox News and CNN, they'll run with that story. Oh, stupid secretary. You know what? She ought to be fired. I could just hear Sean Hannity, Fox News. She ought to be tried for treason. She's ought to be tried for treason. When in reality, if that was the case, which I'm making this up, she's just the fall guy or the fall girl in this case. So it says, I love to just tell you that I'm going to read 2 more things and then I'm going to stop talking, and then I go into like 4 different rants. You like that. While much of the initial anger from the populace has to do with closed doors and not welcome here forms of officialdom meetings, the data sets have suggested it will be the actual destruction of documents that really pisses everybody off and ignites the fury. This area refers back to the damaged documents section of the older Webbot report. Officialdom, are providing certain hints to those semioticians with adequate vision that schedules for their New World Order are in a state of flux. It now does appear that the powers that be have decided to employ treachery / unleashing deceit in bringing to ruin the person provided with preferential status. Who is this person of preferential status? We fin to find out. So that's it. I'll post a link. Have a nice day or night. At this point, it's night, so take care.